Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, May the 6th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Right, only session today, so let's do away with that. Crude, one and done. And the June contract goes as long right at 9 o'clock. Plenty of time to get in that. I did adjust the entry up a tick because of the spike to the entry right after the setup. But that triggers in, gives us 12, 11, and 19 ticks for 30 tick net on the morning and a one and done session. Unleaded, something similar. Note, unleaded volume transitioned yesterday to July, so I've got this on the July contract set up at 2.5 minutes before 8 o'clock. It goes back and forth, back and forth. 9 o'clock happens 10 seconds after this bar. I'm sorry, 10 seconds after that bar. 15 seconds after the hour, we're down low. So that's definitely a get in sync. Target 1 and target 2. Target 1 gets 37, target 2 gets 57. So target 2 is plus 20 to target 1. Trailer goes from 266 up to 363, so 97 ticks. 97 and 57, 154. 134 for target 1 and another one and done session. So we'll bring up the micro NQ. And that's in a trade too early. Micro Russell also in a trade too early, gone too far. Pound Aussie picked up a short. So now we have a possible stop and reverse at 7:11, but we have not reversed as yet. It hit the unadjusted, but not deadjusted. And we are in that market open right there. Okay, neither one of those. The long is maybe 11, 29 seconds. Yeah, long is probably in. And that goes to money management. And target 1, so that's a one and done session. It's like 982 for this current stop. Target 1 was 37 ticks. It looks like we're at 994. Now we transition to a long on the Micro Russell and Micro NQ as well. NQ trade is early. Micro Russell is valid. And that goes down to the stop and comes back up and hits the entry for a valid trade. And hits money management. We go up 2 with the that goes to 5. And we just hit target 3. So that's win number 1. Soybeans picks up a short trade after the fact. That goes too far, so we're flat, no trade there. That up-down move was all in the same second at 30 seconds after 9. To just above the trend indicator. There is a possible short. On micro NQ. Still a valid possible short. Hasn't ever hit the entry. Target 4 on the micro Russell. Trailing at 90.7. Still in the original short on the pound Aussie. Micro Russell stopped to 91.4. All right. Okay. Micro NQ short cancel, still in the long that's gone too far. Micro Russell. Trailing up to 93.9 so far. All right. Pound Aussie hits money management. So on the short, so we come to 693. And we're looking for target 2 at 675 for our first actionable target. Crude, unleaded, and the YM are all done. Soybeans is still flat. We're having to track this manually on the Pound Aussie because of it did think it triggered into the long. Stop and reverse adjustment kept us out of that. So the calculator thinks it's in the subsequent short. We're in the original short. And Micro Russell stopped out. Trade number 1 was a win. Pound Aussie trying to decide if it's going to. Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be rejected at 50. The doji on that went down to basically the full 80 tick bar, came back up and closed at where it opened. All right, nothing new. Pound Aussie still testing the 50. Short trade on the micro Russell. That one is a small, so that's going to take 5 ticks to get to small trade. Because of key level adjustments. We are in our session time for micro NQ now. Looking for a trade on soybeans as well. Potential long trade on soybeans. That's a warning for a white trade. Cyan has crossed above the yellow, so we'll get the trade coming on this bar. Now they're even, so it won't. Now we won't get it. Oh, there it is. So long on soybeans. Or at least a long setup. We're not in the trade yet. We did pick up a short on big short on the micro NQ. Definitely target one for we did get target, so win number 2 on the micro Russell and came back and stopped out at the break-even stop. First trade is a big short on micro NQ. Pound Aussie trying to push down away from the 50 EMA, reaching down toward target 2 at 675. New session low on the micro Russell. And target 1 on micro NQ. So that is going to be a win on trade number 1. Now looking for target 2, and we still won't be trailing. We're only hit break even. We won't start trailing until we get between targets 2 and 3. And Pound Aussie spike pushes up to test the 50 again. Soybeans still with the short setup. 1040 and 3/4 for the entry. Micro Russell continues to set new lows. YM pushing down and micro NQ pushing down. That's a new session low that is on micro Russell. Micro NQ. Yes. $16 or 17 points above the session low. Yeah, pushing down. YM setting new session lows. Micro NQ approaching the session low. Target 2 for the micro NQ. Target 3 is our next, and we are trailing now. Let's see what we got on those two. 34 and 57 and 3/4 points. 91 and 3/4. We still have 2 positions on. Trailer at 779 flat. Looks like we just missed target 3. 756.5 when we got down to, yeah, we missed it by 2 ticks. If that was down there for any kind of time, that would have been a reasonably good off. Yeah, that would have been a fair place to take profit, although, and it's still 22 points to the stop. So you're risking 22 points for that last half a point. So that's a good place to take profit. Micro Russell and YM both coming up off of those new session lows. Micro NQ hasn't decided it's going to go the other way yet. It's trying to push down again. And target 3. Trailer down to 773.25. And that's our last target. So we just have the trailing position on now. So 91 3/4 and 81.5. 173.25. $770.25. So our entry was 838. So 67 3/4 so far. So over 200 points on this trade. Soybeans triggered in. Just touched the entry. Micro NQ continues to set session lows. Micro Russell and the YM continuing to push up off of the lows. And now starting to see the same from the Micro NQ. And Micro NQ stopping out. So 67 3/4. And a long trade set up. There we are. YM, or not YM, soybeans. ZS hitting the entry again. Target 2 on our original pound Aussie trade. That is worth 19 pips times 2 positions. So 38 pips, and now we look for target 3. So stop comes to 691. And it looks like it will come to 687 at the moment. Close of this bar. Possibly 686. Micro NQ and soybeans are long, and an Aussie is short. 2 wins on the micro Russell, at least 2 more trades, up to 4 more. $241 points on that micro NQ trade. $482. And we're coming up on our 10 a.m. crude mini session. We have a potential long get in sync. Ten seconds. And we are in our session. Just down below the session high. Just have touched the session high again. All right, micro NQ takes the loss on the long, transitions to short. Misses money management by, looks like just one or two ticks. And now we have a long, so that's going to be that'll be a stop and reverse at the stop. So that is a second loss. Target 3 on pound Aussie. This is definitely going to be a power putting trade. $681 for the stop. And now we can borrow that one, 678. We can borrow the indicator now from the subsequent trade. Now that it's starting to trail. Target 4. win, target 2 on micro NQ. Big 2 wins and rather, yeah, 2 wins, 2 losses now. One big win. All right, crude trade went too far. So that's a no trade. Pound Aussie at 677 for the stop. $660 is the target 4. Got as low as 61.8. 661.8. So that's inside of 2 pips. Now popping back up a bit. Soybeans back to the entry. Coming down to test that trend indicator again. That's the 20 simple moving average. And we're trailing on the micro NQ now. 87.25, 787.25 for the trailer. Looking for target 3. We went too far. Micro NQ stops out. Few ticks above target 2, or target 1 rather. 18.25 points in the remaining 3 positions each. Avoidable short touched the entry, went for a full stop. And we have a long setup. On the micro Russell. It needs to go up 2. So it's going to go to 90.5. Pound Aussie still short. Micro NQ is flat and soybeans is long. Micro Russell is flat with a pending long trade. Actually, that did touch the entry. So it's no longer pending. We're in that. Long on the micro Russell. Short on the pound Aussie. Flat on the micro NQ. Long on soybeans. And flat on 10 a.m. crude mini session. 5 active charts. 3 sessions complete and positive. 4th will be. Pound Aussie will definitely be positive. When this trade is finished, it will be power of quitting. Soybeans pushing up toward target 1 in money management. Looks like not within 1. Needs to go to 43 flat, not to 42.75. Pound Aussie making another run. Money management. On the micro Russell. Money management on the Russell reaching up for, so we're at break even, reaching for target 3. Soybeans rejected the 50 EMA, tick from our money management in target. Target 3, that is win number 3. We'll go for target 4 now. Trailing at 89.4. At least one more trade if it's a win. Up to 3 more trades. One win or 3 loss or break-even trade. Target 4 on the pound Aussie. So 19, 19, 27, and 34. 61 and 38. 99 pips on the targets. And we still have the trailer. 673 from the entry. 694. That's 21. So we're at 120 plus pips this morning on pound Aussie. Target 4 on the micro Russell. 89.9 for the trailing stop. Trailer down to 668. $26 pips. Looks like next bar will bring it down to 666. 28 pips. Micro Russell with another long trade. Target 1 on the button for soybeans. Stop comes up to 41 1/4. No, 41 flat. 40 3/4 was the entry. This is trade number 1, so this will be a power quitting trade. 9 ticks on target. At least 3 more on the trailer, so we're at least 3 points on the morning. Micro NQ challenging the stop, the break-even stop. Micro Russell continuing to trail. 91.9. Trade number 5 on the Micro NQ. 2 wins, 2 losses. Definitely a positive session. First win was a big one. Soybean stops out, so small trade, 3 points this morning. $150. Come back tomorrow and do it again. And target on the Micro NQ. Win number 3 on and bouncing up hard. 870 3/4 for the trailing stop. Micro Russell at 93.9. Trade too early, too far on crude. Still trailing. Pushing up toward the $60 mark. Pushing the new session highs already. 59.60 for the new session high. All right, there's 66 for the pound Aussie trailer. $94.4 for Micro Russell. Wow. Targets 3 and 4 on the micro NQ. 888 flat for the trailer. Micro Russell trailer at 97.4. Russell pushes up beyond the 2,000 point mark. Now back down right around 2,000 at the moment. All right. Okay, Micro Russell stopped, or Micro NQ stopped out. Micro Russell still going. YM into a short trade. Crude into a short. So, no, soybeans is done. One more trade on the Micro NQ. That is trade number 5. 3 wins, 2 losses. Pound Aussie still at 66.66. 28 ticks. 127 for the trade. And Pound Aussie moving the stock down to 663. 31 ticks, 31 pips on the trailer, 130 pips on the trade. Okay, we have a short setup on micro NQ. Touch the entry, so we will get in sync with this one. 880 flat, and we did get, yeah, we got to that. Well, exactly. So push that to 879 3/4. And hitting the stop. So that should be an avoided trade. Micro Russell, apparently micro NQ, and apparently the YM, all three starting to move back up again. We'll see if they can continue on beyond their current highs. Micro Russell does 97.9 now for the trailer. I might hold the stop where it was off of that one because of the wick there. Micro NQ and the YM both hesitating on their recovery, as is the micro NQ. And all three kind of going sideways right now. I'm going to have to call it a morning. Where we are right now, because I'm going to have to get on to another appointment. Everybody have a good one. We'll be back at 9:30 tomorrow morning for a regular session and a crude oil inventory session at 10:30. So we will see you then. Have a good trading the rest of today. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.